Hey, welcome. So I'm testing out software on multiple platforms, and so I'm going to do a quick little late night live for you. So let me know where you are in the world and where you are watching from. I have two screens, so if you see me going back and forth, that is why. And I'm going to move this so that IG can see what the dealio is. So tonight we're going to be talking about 8 ways to make $800 with your first or next pre-order. And I say first or next because, oh goodness, Facebook. Okay. I say that because you may not have done a pre-order before, or maybe you've done a pre-order before and you want to kind of elevate yourself. And so, hey Natalie, so I'm going to share quickly a few ways where you can make $800 with your next pre-order. So if you can see me on Facebook in the Sell More Books group, drop a 1 in the chat. And if you can see me on Instagram, drop a 1 in the chat as well. All right, now, so first of all, if you have not heard about the Pre-Order Profits challenge, it was an amazing experience. And I'm not just saying that myself, but based upon the attendees, they had a fabulous time when it came to being able to set some of their intentions for their pre-order process, for them to be able to create affirmations for their pre-orders. And so it was a wonderful experience. And if you are on the fence about joining the Accelerator, which is the 8-week program where I walk you through the steps of how to set up your pre-order, then I encourage you to go ahead and sign up for that. And if you were part of the challenge, then there's a coupon code that was emailed to you, so you can use that to get a discount. Now, tonight we're going to be talking about 8 ways to make $800 with your first or next pre-order. And so the first way is to think about how to sell things that are not just a part of your book. And so, for example, you can sell more than your book. So creating what's called a book bundle. And that means that you are combining things with your book. And I'm checking on Instagram to make sure it's showing up properly. Combining things with your book so that way you are able to sell more than just that thing. And so that could look like selling something in addition to your book, adding something to it, adding an experience, adding additional books, doing a book bundle. And so, for example, one of my author clients and author sister friends, DM Whitaker, we worked together on her pre-order, and she created a series for her Scary Dinosaur and Stinky Skunk tongue twister, and she did a bundle where you got all 3 of the books, and then she also did a few other bundle options. And so the first strategy is to sell create a bundle, $100 bundle, and then sell it to to 8 people. Or if your bundle is less than that, then of course you would just adjust the numbers accordingly. And now let me just make this clear. Mental math is not my strong suit. And so if any of these numbers don't add up to $800, then just roll with me, and it's a little late. So then the next strategy to sell $800 worth of merchandise, or to make $800 with your pre-order, is to partner with an organization and sell 50 copies of your book to them. And of course, price it out accordingly. And so doing this means that you could find an organization, a nonprofit. Recently this week, a nonprofit for moms who are in the postpartum period, and even some moms who have had child loss. They reached out to me to attend a vending event and also to help with one of their events, because I have a book for first-time moms. And so it's something where you can partner with an organization that already has your audience in mind, and you can actually find ways to be able to provide value to them in terms of providing your book. And it might not just be the book, it might be a speaking experience for you. It might be something where you're going and vending and things of that sort. So that's strategy number 2. And then strategy number 3 is to create an experience around your book. And so, for example, you could look at selling tickets to an event that revolves around your book. And let me give some numbers. So my math is mathing. So for example, let's say the goal is the $800 goal. So let's say you charge $40 for tickets and you just need to sell 20 tickets. And so, for example, one of my clients, Tashawn Creswell, she's an author who has multiple children's books and other books as well. And for her book launch, we worked together, and she created an experience in where her book launch party was at a lounge, and it was kind of like the grown and sexy vibe. And so she was able to invite people to get a copy of the book as a part of the ticket. So the event ticket came with a copy of the book. She autographed the books, and then people could come and attend the event, have a good time, played music, learn more about how she wrote the book and how things came about. So that's another strategy, and that's something that is definitely doable if it's an aspect where you want to include kind of a live element where people come in and experience something. Don't assume that the events that you create all have to be free. I know often as authors, it can feel like, oh, well, are people going to come to this thing? And honestly, you need to really understand and be confident that the people who are going to be purchasing your book and signing up for your products or services and programs, things like that, are people who are highly interested in what it is you have to sell and what you have to say. So kick that fear out the window and understand that people want to be where you are when it comes to your ideal readers. Then the next option, now this one, I debated including it because it's a little bit more, not risque, but it's not necessarily a strategy that I suggest for people to use unless you know what to do on the back end, unless you know what to do once those sales come in, unless you understand your timelines, because this is a strategy that can backfire if you don't know what you're doing. And so this one, I've seen it before, and there are other author coaches who suggest it. I typically don't suggest it, but if you needed to, you could just put up a post that says, I'm writing a book and the sales are open. Send me $20. Here's my PayPal if you want to get a copy of the book. Now, I do recommend you do the first part of what I said, is to put up a post saying that you're writing a book. That's a great way to start building your audience and building traction. But the part of going ahead and accepting payments, that's something that I say with love, that unless you know what you're doing, please don't do this, because it can cause people to have really delayed launches and really delayed releases where you are not actually fulfilling the orders because you didn't really plan it out. And so it's not something that you just want to enter into lightly, because then it can be something where people are waiting on this book that you never finished, or waiting on this book that you have no hopefully you have an intention of finishing, and hopefully you're not a scammer. But scammers be scamming. But even if you have the best intentions, but you have no idea how to map out your book launch or map out your plan, then it's something where your credibility and your reliability is really shot if you're not able to fulfill those orders. However, it is a strategy that works. And so putting up a post, accepting payments, and just leaving it at that, that's a way to make money with your pre-orders as well. Just if you do that, understand the whole process, understand the game. So, all right, next strategy is to ask people to buy a book for a friend. And so let's say, going back to that timeline of, hold on, my computer was freezing for a bit. Let's say you are selling a book. Let's say it's $20, and you say, hey, okay, for every book that's purchased, I am going to donate a book to somewhere else. Can you cover the cost of that book? And so that's another strategy where people are more likely to be open to being benevolent and wanting to donate to someone else. Or you can make it something which is my next example. Instead of having it be a donation, have it be something where it's like, okay, if it's an accountability book, if it's a self-help book, if it's something where somebody would benefit with having someone also read the book with them, if it's a book club type situation, then having people buy like a partner pack. And this is something I debated doing, which I may or may not offer for my next book, but having it so where, okay, don't read this book alone, have somebody do this with you, and then that way they can buy one for them and buy one for their friend. So they are purchasing 2 copies of the book at the same time, and then you could just ship it to one of the people, or you could figure out how to ship it to both of them. That's an option. And so if you're just now joining, hey, over on Instagram, thanks for tuning in. We're talking about, and on Facebook in the group and on my page. So we're talking about 8 ways to make $800 in your pre-orders. And as I said earlier, mental math is not happening right now. So if the numbers I say are off, adjust accordingly. Because originally I was going to do $1,000, but then I switched it to $800. So, all right, now the next option, of course, is to join my Preorder Profits Accelerator, and that is where I will help you to develop your email marketing savvy, your social media savvy, and overall launch skills to be able to have a successful pre-order. And I'll use the strategies that I've done with my own pre-orders, as well as those that I've helped my clients to be able to have successful pre-orders in order to make a profit, in the sense that we're able to create our own author advance through the use of pre-orders. Meaning, all 3 of my books that are not hidden pen name books, I've been able to cover the costs of the publishing costs through pre-orders and above and beyond that. And my clients have been as well. And if they haven't covered all of their publishing costs, then they at least have made a profit within that timeline. So of course, if you're interested in that, you can click the link in the description to join that. It's ppa.preorderprofits.com. And then and that's an 8-week program. And so we go over multiple strategies of how to support your pre-order to have it be successful. But my last strategy is to host a virtual event. And so this could be a live virtual event. It could be a pre-recorded virtual event. It could be something where you record it ahead of time, but then you show it in the sense of people understand that they're attending it and it's pre-recorded, or and you could be interacting in the chat, or you could host it live and have it live just like I'm doing this live, and then invite people to join you, but charge an attendance fee. And so this is similar to an in-person event. However, it's the virtual aspect, and it's something where, because you are not having to rely on people to be there physically in person, you're able to really open up things to a broader audience, so that way there's more options of people who can attend. And then also you can sell the replay. That's another strategy, actually, is to sell the replay so that it's something that's continuous and it's not just where you are only able to see it that one time. Like, if you weren't here, you entirely missed it. And so, for example, the challenge that I did last week, it was a 4-day challenge of teaching authors how to really open their minds about the possibilities of what they could offer, about what they could do to have a successful pre-order. And it's something where, if you attended, the replays are coming down tonight at 11:59, so in a little bit. And if you're watching this live, and then I'm able to package those up and resell those replays, so that way people who weren't there live can still watch them later. And it's something I can use to generate some additional income. And for my people who joined the Accelerator, the Preorder Profits Accelerator, I'm including those for them. So then that becomes a nice bonus for people who have already supported me and have already invested in me. And so that's the same thing you can do for your options. You can have the virtual event and have it be where people are able to spend the time either with you live, have access to the recording, have access to the replay to watch on their own pace. I know for the challenge last week, there were folks who were watching overseas. So I have a few folks who follow me. Well, more than a few, but I have people who follow me. And for example, Julie, she's over in the UK. And so she was consistent about watching the recording at her own time, and she was able to catch up with it that way. And then Vivian, I'm not exactly sure where Vivian is. I need to ask her, but she was able to watch it on the replay. And so it's something where she's still able to catch up. So once again, I'm going to go over the 8 ways in case you are joining later, or if you're watching this on the replay and you caught it in the middle. But this is 8 ways to make $800 with your pre-order. And of course, don't get caught up in the 8 and 800. This applies to other amounts, just varying in terms of how your price points are. So this could be 10 ways to make $1,000. Like, it doesn't matter what the actual numbers are. It's more so the strategy. So the first way is to create a book bundle. And then that could look like selling a series, selling different items with your book to help the reader to be able to finish the book. Then the second one is to partner with an organization or a small business to sell 40 copies of your book at $20 each. Then and that could look like a sponsorship that they are paying for them, or it could be something they open it up to their members to purchase on their own. Then creating an experience around your book and selling it to folks. So in the example I gave, that was a book launch party, a grown and sexy book launch party. I'll call it that, at a lounge. And it was something where the author was able to sell 70 tickets to her event and to be able to fill that up. And people got a copy of the book as a part of the event. Then strategy number 4, this is one that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of, but people do it, of just announcing on your social media saying, hey, I'm writing a book, go buy the book. Here's my PayPal link, send me some money. It has its purpose sometimes. And then 5 is to ask 30 people to buy a book for a friend. And so they are buying it for a friend, or way number 6 is to donate it to someone else. So buying it for a local library, buying it for a school, things of that sort. So they buy a copy and then also buy one to donate. And then 7, of course, is joining my Preorder Profits Accelerator. And so that's an 8-week program where I will support you through creating your own pre-order for your book to be successful and profitable. And then number 8 is to host a live event, a live virtual event for your book, and to invite people to buy a ticket to join you and or selling the replay. So if you have tried any of these strategies, let me know in the chat whether you're watching live or on the replay. Or if you've never tried any of these, let me know which one you want to try. And once again, if you attended the challenge last week and you are someone who thinks you're on the fence about joining, you want to find out more information, I'll also include my number in the chat to send a text to set up a time to talk and to see if it's a good fit for you. The coupon code for the challenge attendees does expire tonight in about 40 minutes. So if you're on the fence, but you want to save a little extra cash, then definitely I would say join and you'll be able to participate with us next week. But if you are someone who's like, this really is a stretch for me to be able to join the Accelerator, but I am still interested in the pre-order process, I am having a training this week. And so I will send out information about that. And it will be on Thursday at 8:30 to dig a little bit deeper into the pre-order process to see how you can be able to create it in a way that is profitable for you. As well, if you are just wanting to grab the book when it's done, because I'm actually creating a pre-order book for this, a pre-order book about pre-orders, and then you can click on, or you can click the link in the description, or you can visit book.preorderprofits.com and you can grab your copy there. So hopefully this has been helpful for you, and let me know which strategy you're going to try or what you have already found to be successful. Have a good one.